Welcome to Cougar Football with Kevin Donnelly. Last Saturday in Davenport, Iowa, the previously ranked number 4 University of St. Francis gutted out a 34-33 victory over St. Ambrose. At the same time, Eastern Oregon defeated number 1 Carroll 41-33, and number 11 Missouri Valley took down number 3 Mid-America Nazarene 26-21. Both helped propel the Cougars to a number 2 NAIA ranking. Conference rival St. Xavier, they take over the number 1 spot.
Well, as far as the rankings are concerned, they don't mean a heck of a lot right now. They do in when you get to game 10, because the first 2 seeds, 1 and 2, are going to get to host playoff rounds all the way through. So that's a big deal. If you're 3 or 4, you're going to travel somewhere in there. The trip to Iowa, we faced a good football team. Had a lot of guys returning from a year ago that weren't even on the 2 deep. They've gotten a lot of new players, transfers and so forth. They had a starting middle guard that was a transfer from Sioux Falls. They had a tailback that was a transfer from Southern Illinois. They had a good football team. They're a lot better than they should be a ranked team. The loss was hard on them. They thought they had a shot to get us, and they did, and took it right down to the wire. We didn't play our best football game. I think, our preseason scrimmage several weeks ago against Trine, we were excited to play coming out of 2-a-day practices, and we went up there and we were ready to play our best, and we did. And I think last week, we were excited it was game week. And I told coaches every day last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were flawless. High effort, high intensity, 3 of the greatest practices that I can remember throughout my coaching career, all assembled in 1 practice week, which tells me, through my experience, is that the team's going to be flat on that day because you kicked in an adrenaline cycle too early, and we were a little flat coming out. Physically, mentally, we didn't make adjustments on defense that we were coached to do. Offensively, we didn't execute plays the way that we should have and were taught to do. So we were very fortunate. We did it with tradition and heart and character of players that we found a way to come out on top.
Starting on top were the Fighting Bees when they put together a 9-play, 80-yard drive that ate up 4 minutes and 31 seconds, resulting in an Anton Wilkins 3-yard touchdown.
They came out and took charge of the game. They put our backs against the wall right away, went down with that drive and put it in, and I knew at that point we were going to have a typical St. Ambrose, St. Francis football game. It was going to go down to the wire. I knew we were going to have to play well in order to win.
It was a little unexpected, they were moving the ball pretty well on us, and we're supposed to be, one of the top defenses, and I wasn't too pleased with it, but eventually we settled in and thought we started to play how we could. We just didn't come out how we needed to at the beginning of that game. We knew they were going to be talented. It's just, I don't know, maybe we were thinking a little too highly of ourselves, but that we need to go out there and play 100% all the time. Otherwise, teams are going to try to knock us off.
St. Francis would rebound from the opening series behind an inspirational performance from senior Kobe Fry and a touchdown reception by Austin Coleman. The Cougars entered the second quarter up 14-7.
Well, Kobe Fry's a winner. I mean, he is a good football player. Pound for pound, he's about as good as you get. He's going to find a way to beat you. He's going to make plays, whether it's blocking, running, catching. I have total respect for that young man. He's very quiet and to himself. He just goes out and does it with actions from snap to whistle. And in talking with their defensive coaches, their defensive coach for the ball game, said Kobe Fry is probably the best football player you got on offense. So opponents have great respect for him as well.
Respect was felt on both sides of the field, and the Bees opened up the second quarter with a 27-yard touchdown reception by Barney O'Donnell. Add in 3 Cougar turnovers and another St. Ambrose touchdown, and St. Francis was down 21-14. Helping to jumpstart the Cougars was defensive tackle Marcus Neal.
Well, it puts life into everybody, when you get a big play on defense, the rest of the defensive players and the offense as well. Because you're getting some momentum change, you might get an advantage in field position as well. So all those big plays, and Marcus had a great football game. He was actually named Defensive Player of the Week We're huge. We have speed. We have good kids, and even though we were misaligning and things, we did get that straightened around at the half, and we played better football in the second half. So yeah, they set the tone right away, and we knew we were going to go 12 rounds with it.
What would be the equivalent of round 7 was when O'Donnell caught his second touchdown pass and St. Francis was down 23-14 just minutes into the third quarter. But then the Cougar run game began to take over with a combination of Frank Wolf and Antoine Campbell.
We made some plays when we had to. I thought Frank had a great effort. Our offensive line is good, and we had a good game up front. Nobody had a bad game. That was probably the difference from the offensive side of the ball, why in fact we were able to go and score, 5 touchdowns.
Well, the offensive line and I have a deal going on. I don't think I can really say what's going on, but we have a little deal going on. It started off the season pretty well, and as I told them, I promised them as long as we're doing everything we can as together, then I was going to reward them, and that's what I've been doing. I did it last year, and I'll continue to do it this year. And they were calling the plays how they saw, like if the nose tackle lined up shaded, if the nose tackle lined up on the shade of the guard, inside shade of the guard, the quarterback would also see the play and audible to the opposite way. So it was really the quarterback and the lineman that was able to make the running backs running that much easier. We just ran the ball, and the linemen opened the holes up, and they were getting to the second level, even clearing the linebackers out. So by the time we got to the safeties, everything else was pretty much easier than rather than having to make 6 people miss and then, running like that. It makes it that much more easier when the offensive line is opening things up. As soon as I came out, I told him, hey, I might not be able to go back in, so you might have to step up and beat the guy. And he took the role, and I guess he started running harder, and he ran hard behind the lineman. The lineman did a great job that game, and the perimeter blocking was great. And Antoine Campbell, he's a great guy. He's a great running back.
Well, it was his first college football game. He's a redshirt freshman. We know he's a big, strong kid. He's got great vision. He's a good inside runner. Got a couple touchdowns, and very happy for him. Happy he's on our football team. Frank had a great football game. Yeah, he and Coleman, and there were several others that were going through a lot of the cramping. It was hot. You get down on that turf, and it supposedly increases the heat on the surface by about 10%. So if you're looking at 80 degrees, it's pretty warm down there. And the thing of it is, it's all about youth and understanding what you got to do. You got to start hydrating yourself on Thursday, not just Saturday morning, drinking lots of water, Gatorade, and so forth. So we addressed that this week, and hopefully that won't happen again. Don't know what the weather's going to be like from day to day or hour to hour, maybe in Indiana. So you got to be prepared for those.
After Campbell's touchdown, it was time for the defense to step up.
I was on a backside blitz, and they were in a play action, so right when the quarterback turned around, I was right there, and he was trying to turn back the other way, but he kind of slipped and fell, so it was kind of an easy sack for me.
The outside linebacker from Muskegon, Michigan was able to fill up the stat sheet, even if it was only for a half.
Well, which half? First half or second half? Because they were total opposite. The first half, he did not play well. Didn't make the necessary adjustments he needed to on defense. At halftime, adjustments were made. We changed it a little bit what we were going to do. I think defensive staff, Coach Maloney did a great job. And then Derek played an outstanding second half. So first half, I wouldn't have given him a very good grade. Second half, he did an outstanding job. He's a good football player. He's a tough kid. I'm sure glad he's on our team.
It was good stat-wise, but I feel like I still could have played better. And I'm pretty sure everyone on our defense feels like that wasn't the best game they could have played. I think it'll just get better from here.
And the play continued to get even better during the next Cougar possession when Wolf and the O-line only needed 2 plays to get 32 yards, putting St. Francis on top, 28-27.
Yeah, a longtime friend of mine who used to play here, Daniel Carter, always told me big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. So I feel like the team was a little bit down. And it was my job to do something to get the team hyped up and get everybody going. So I just stepped my play up, and I played a little harder, and everybody else followed. You know, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to go out as a winner. And I feel like the team that we have now is definitely a team that we can win with. And me being a senior is not only giving me the drive to be better, but it's just, I mean, I guess as you grow up, you mature. And I feel like I've matured as a leader. I'm not necessarily a vocal leader, but I let my actions speak for me. And when the team sees that I'm, you know what I'm saying, into the game, then everything else takes place. I feel like I'm more of a leader than I have been.
The teams traded touchdowns with missed two-point conversions, making the score 34-33 St. Francis. And it was the Bees with the ball with 5 minutes left to play in the game. Late in the game, the Cougars' depth showed through.
Our twos contribute almost just as much as our ones. We got some good guys who can come in and play like our starters can. So, I mean, it's good that you can have guys that can give our ones a break and still we don't lose production on the field. I just seen Chap come up and he just made a form tackle and his head went right on the ball, squirted it out, and I was running for it, but then Devin picked it up, started to run. Ross wanted him to pitch it to score, but luckily, you know, he just fell on it, ended the game.
Well, I feel like as long as we correct the mistakes that we had, there's no way that we're going to lose. Like, we did things wrong and still came out with the win against a very good team. So as long as we correct our mistakes and play like we're capable of playing, I think we're heading in the right direction.
Heading to Bishop Darcy Stadium this Saturday is crossover conference opponent McKendree University, led by their coach Carl Pelker.
Well, we're good friends. We have a lot of mutual respect for one another. We've had some great football games with them. Early on, when we started the program, they beat us up pretty good in '99 out here. In that year, we started out the year 1-2, and then won, I think, the next 7 in order to win the conference title. But they spanked us pretty good and taught us some lessons on how to play good, hard-nosed football. And that's the kind of football team that Carl always produces. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tough. They're going to hit you. I don't care if it's offense or defense. They're going to come at you and smack you. So we got to be ready for another physical football game. Now, the last several times we've played, we've gotten the upper hand. I think maybe the last time we played was '05, if I'm not mistaken. And we just come off the big win over Indiana State. And we were flattering pancakes. We got behind by 14 points, ended up outscoring them in the fourth quarter. And we were under the last 30 seconds when Chris Bramwell hit Andy Papagiannis for the winning touchdown. And we just thrown the same play, same pass, the play before. Should have been intercepted. The kid dropped it. And I called the same play because we didn't run it very well. And I knew that if we executed the play well, that it would go. And the play was run much better the second time. And Bramwell made a good throw. Andy made a great catch. We win the football game on a day that we were probably as flat as we were against St. Ambrose last Saturday.
The Bearcats seemed a bit flat at times in their 30-27 loss last week versus Malone. The Pioneers rattled off touchdowns of 54, 28, and 18 yards, including a 99-yard kickoff return.
Well, I hope we have the same opportunity to do that. Yeah, and that's not going to help their attitude coming in here. They're going to be upset because they let one slip away. They had a roughing the passer and a pass interference and Malone's last possession and put him in position to kick the winning field goal. So, you know, they didn't do smart things. They didn't necessarily get beat. They just lost it. They're a good football team. They're a better football team than Malone. They're going to be very comparable to St. Ambrose, probably more physical. So, got a challenge.
With the challenge ahead, here are Coach D's keys to success.
First thing is we got to come out ready to play. We don't play our best football, it's going to be a long day. We're a little banged up right now. So we're going to have guys step up, and might be playing with a little pain, but we're going to have to step up and get it done. But as a group, we've got to be ready to play. Secondly, we've got to take care of the football. Defensively, we can't give up big plays. You know, we've got to keep plays in front of us, and we got to tackle well. Continue great special teams play, which we had a week ago. We do that, we'll be fine.
If you cannot make the trip to Bishop Darcy Stadium, be sure to tune in to Catholic Redeemer Radio, WLYV 1450 AM. Or you can watch live on our livestream.com channel, USF Cougars. Coverage begins at 11:45. Thanks for watching, and go Cougars.